I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about this. Sometimes I wake up like 3 a.m. and then I'll be up a couple hours, then go back to sleep. So if that's happening to you guys, that can be disturbing, but it's also natural somehow. And that's a prime time for getting downloads. You don't even have to try. If you're tuned, it's called the Brahma Mudra time. This is when the yogis usually meditate also. It's a special energy, very sattvic energy during about 3 to 5 a.m. Anyway, relationships after you start to awaken. What is awakening? What are we talking about? We're talking about when our perception of things get more subtle. We start to see how this life works on more deeper level. So then you start to define things. You start to look at concepts that a lot of people have. You start to look at that, like friends, or romantic relationships. I call them romantic contracts sometimes. You start to break this down. It also comes with, you can say, a certain level of maturity. As you get older, you don't have to, label it like you're awakened. But there's these stages we go through, But the more awake you are to your true nature, then the more subtle your perception is, the more wisdom you have. It's just the way it works. Okay. A lot of people use the word friends. I remember when I broke up with a girlfriend some years ago, I saw her friend out in the street, and her friend wanted my ex-girlfriend's phone number. She's like, "Can I get her number? Because I need to ask her." It's like, "I don't have her number." She says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, what do you mean? We're done. Season's over. Why am I gonna have her number? I like to tidy things up, delete those who why? It's like Facebook. People send you friend requests. I never understood that. I don't accept any of them. The way I see it, if you send me a request, then there's something you want, there's something you have something to say. There's a reason. So if I don't see a message along with the request, then I'm like, well, what are we doing here? Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it, but you know what I mean. So she asked me, what's her number? I don't have her number. Well, why not? Because the season's over. She says, well, don't you want to be friends? I said, no, I don't want any friends. I don't want friends. She says, you're called me a gringo, because this was in South America. She says, you're weird. Gringos are weird. So what did I mean though? I mean, obviously, I was half joking when I said I don't want friends, but not really. The universe will send you whatever people that you're supposed to meet, that are supposed to walk with you in this life. The universe, it's already written. You don't need to label it. You don't need to go out and find it. There's some beings who are with you for a short season, and then there's a few, sometimes one, that's with you forever. Whenever you incarnate, whatever plane you're on, you guys, they're lifers, eternal lifers. You see, they're doing the eternal marathon with you. Others, they'll run the 100 meters with you. Some will run the mile, So you don't need to label those things like, oh, my friend. Because here's what I started to realize as I got older and as I started to perceive things a little more subtle, more deeply. It's like people, a lot of times the definition of friend for somebody, although they won't admit it and they don't know it, it's like to give some false sense of security. They want a list of people they can call if they need something. You see? That's a friend. So it's like in their mind. So they're like, okay, if I need something, I want you to be there for me. There's even songs like that, right? What's that old song? Well, whenever you call, I'll be there for you. I don't know. These songs, man, they really perpetuate this whole conditioning and delusion that we live in, the love songs and the love movies. But go see, this movie doesn't, go see Bridges of Madison County, Clint Eastwood. See, Clint Eastwood doesn't play that. This is a real movie. I think he directed it. Yeah, if he directs something, he's not going to do the artificial conditioning, sappy, fantasy stuff. This is a good movie. Him and Meryl Streep. That shows you what really could happen. I really like that movie. It's a little slow taking off, but man, there's a real message behind that. And then tell me at the end, like, what did Meryl Streep do the right thing? Yeah, let me know. It's deep. All right, let's focus. I like to digress sometimes because it's fun. Definition of friend, I feel, for a lot of people is like, I'm gonna call you if I need something, and then you can call me if you need something. But I hope you don't call me and need anything. But I want you to be there if I need something. Yeah, can we like work that out somehow? And then in the meantime, I'll drop you a little message here and there and pretend like I want to know how you're doing. Hey, how you doing? Everything's okay? Yeah, good. Okay, good. There. Okay, I kept in contact with him, or her. So then when I need something, they should be there, right? So, what's the real purpose of, like, what are we doing here? Why connect with anybody? I need a reason myself. I need a reason to connect with you. Once you're pretty solid inside, ultimate relationship is your relationship with the pure self. I made a video, the 5 highest relationships or something. I might have changed the title, but I talk about the different relationships. For me, this is highest relationship. The individual self, the autonomous human appearance of a self, communing with its source. This is highest relationship. When that's established, then, because see, most people, they're subconsciously looking to try to make themselves secure because they think they're this little human bot. So then everything they're doing in life is pretty much, they have an ulterior selfish motive. That's the thing. That's what I see with the so-called label of friends. Romantic relationships, man, yeah, be careful. I like the Indian way of doing things when they have arranged marriages. That's different. Anyway, so the friends, if I don't have a real reason to talk with somebody, if you're secure inside, and if you're a man and you've already went through and had the sufficient experiences with the female counterpart, female energy, you're not looking for that. You're not harboring any, girls do this a little more, fantasies of, oh, it'd be so nice to meet, the opposite sex, have a relationship and we're both awake and, oh wow, that would be just heaven. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. There's duality in these relationships, no matter what. It's just no matter what. It's like this. A lot of relationships like this, right? But even the most, you can say, the Sattvic beings, it's still, there's this. That's cool if it's your destiny to be in that. Like, you can't do anything about it anyway. It's not like there's a choice. Might be an appearance of a choice, but it's not a real choice. But some beings, look, nothing's a choice really. So every time we're talking, we're part of the, we're talking in our sleep still, pretending like we're trying to discuss certain things and give good guidance. But in the end, man, like, that's all part of the movie. It's cool though. So if you've already, you've been sufficiently satisfied, that karma has been satisfied. Those desires have been quenched. You're not under any impression that somebody outside you is going to help you. I was doing a consultation with a more mature woman, and she realized that. I could feel it energetically. She realized it. And she's, we have to see what's going to happen, because she's in a relationship and she wants to end it. But, karma, it's difficult. Sometimes you got to let these things just play out and come to a natural end, even though they're ending. Can't just say, well, I know it's going to end, so okay, friend, lover, I'm done. Yeah, it's a little messy. So once you realize that, you don't want to do it again. You're like, why am I going to do that again? I don't want to do it. And then you thank God you got out of your previous relationships unscathed. A lot of people end up in prison. I know, I've spoken female prisons, male prisons, and jails, and I'm telling you, the majority of them are in there directly or indirectly because of a relationship gone bad somehow. So if if you don't have a criminal record and you've been in relationships and you're not in one now and you're satisfied and good with that, good. If there's some reason that the universe wants you to be in one, good. You can't do anything about that. I'm not pro relationships or anti relationships. I just know my destiny is I'm more of a solo person. I love my space. I remember a couple of my past girlfriends, like, they can't help it. It's in the female nature for the most part. They, at some point, especially if they get close to you, they want the physical partnership. They want to live together. And sometimes they'd bring that up. I'd say, look, here's how that could work. We can both have separate houses, right? You have one house here, then I'll have a house, and then we can have like woods in between, a bunch of trees in between, and then I'm gonna hire a security guard, and I'm gonna post him, make sure you don't spy on me. I was playing, of course, but they didn't like hearing that because I like my space. I don't even want somebody in the house. I remember a girl said, look, but if it's 3-4 bedrooms, she must be buying that, not me. Then we could have one at the end, like I'll stay at the end, and then you can stay at this end, and then we can visit each other sometimes. I said, no, but you're still there. I like, they're still there. It's a different vibration and feeling when you're living like and nobody's there. An animal's cool if they're, I don't. Here's what I tell people sometimes. I said I enjoy playing with other people's babies and wives and girlfriends and animals. I like playing with other people's. I don't want one of my own, right? Because I don't. I'm not scared to have one. See, there's some people that they misinterpret things because they think, oh, you must be running from something, scared to get intimate. I'm like, no, brother. This is what it is. I've had all that. Like, I've tasted that. I enjoyed it, suffered it a little. It's all good. But like, I'm good now. Like, life force is running the show. It's not having me do that stuff. So this is what I do what I do, but I'm not doing it. It's like being done. I'm cooperating with it, like this unfolding. Did I finish the friend topic? A lot of people, they want friends so they give each other a false sense of security that they can call and need people. I remember my ex-girlfriends love to do that. They want to keep you on the list somewhere. I had a wise guy tell me once, he says, once you get on a girl's list, you never get off. You just change positions. It's a good one, isn't it? So see, I didn't want to be on her list. She'd call once in a while or leave a message trying to tell me something about something that I think I would like, oh, I found such and such product, something. She knew I liked those things, I said, no, I'm not having it, man. Like, please lose my email and number. That's what I told her. I said, everything's good though. I told her that too. So I'm not playing that. It's a game. Like, I see through it. How can I play it? When you're conscious of something, you can't do it. So what is the main connection then? Purpose of a relationship? Yeah, see, I didn't get into that. I started to, but I didn't get into it. So when I said I need a reason, I need a real reason if we're going to connect. And it can't just be female, male energy. I've done that. It's not enough. I like the female energy, but I can go outside and get the female energy. Meaning I can just look at them or say hi. Hey, how you doing? Good. There, I got female energy. The world's full of female energy. There's 4 billion women on the planet. I don't need to have one in a contract with me. I don't need to take one hostage. Definitely don't need to sleep with one. I wake up and stuff. I got to have my own space. So what's the point? What's the purpose then? If we don't need any of that stuff, what's the point? Highest point. Sangha. Have a Sangha in the heart. There's Sangha satsang people. We reflect and talk on what I feel is the most important subjects in the whole human kingdom. on any plane, on any kingdom, actually, any evolutionary kingdom. This is the most important things. Reflecting on this fusion of the individual self with the human self, and then talking about any obstructions that seem to block that as part of the play, and dissolving them and all that. This, for me, this is the highest thing. I had a girlfriend when I was 22. I haven't had many girlfriends. I had like 3.5, by the way. So I had a girlfriend when I was, but they were all good ones. This is why I'm satiated. I didn't like, they were all, you know, soulmates, like destiny sent them. I didn't go out on the street and, you know, you walk down the street and then do the whole, I don't know, courting game, like, oh yeah, hey, yeah. And she walks by, and then you turn around. Oh, she's still looking. Yeah. Hey, can I get your number? I don't even know her. Why would I want her number? I don't even know her. I don't want to sign up for trouble. Yeah, nowadays people can find you, like, you got all these social media apps. How's a man can even, how are you going to be alone? They just keep coming. These people just keep coming. Family and friends, and then they just keep coming, you know? That's why the yogis, they go out, some of them, they're done. They go out into the Himalayas and nobody can go out there. They can't hack it. The yogi can chill. Yeah, I entertained that idea, but I've shared before, I just didn't last too long. At nighttime, you know, you're in a cave and you start hearing things move around. No, no. So for me, that's the highest thing. To meet a true Sangha being like that, who's willing to reflect on those things. Usually my questions, if we start, you know, because the average person, I like, sure, yeah, me too, I'm spiritual. And you start getting into stuff and giving them potent questions that make them look at themselves, then they're like, you know, I don't know, you know, then they tell me, you know, they blame it on me. He's not very nice. The mind can justify and rationalize everything. That's cool. Like, that's how God weeds people out of your life. This is what they do. But look, you also got to be careful. Like, you always do introspection and see, like, am I doing something here that's not authentic? You check that. Because arrogance or ego would have it just, you're always right and they're always wrong. That's why I'm about balance on this channel. I don't declare I'm awake and now I'm always right. I don't like the word awakening. Even though I use it in the titles, I have to do that so the algorithm knows where to send it. But every time I put awakening, I'm like, okay. So that's what I mean about the relationships. You don't need them. God's taking care of you through human forms. If your mind wants to label them as relationships, go ahead. But I don't. I mean, I can superficially if I'm talking to somebody, because we have to use words. Oh, my friend. But, you know, I've surrendered my life. Those beings that are supposed to be in my life, they're in my life. And then the mind, this is a big fear. This is what, again, this goes back to the insecurity of what motivates people to be in have friends and relationships. It's like, well, what am I going to do? People have kids for this reason. You believe? They may not even want to have kids, but they start worrying and projecting, oh, when I get older, who's going to take care of me? I need to have kids. And you know the ironic thing? Most of the kids nowadays, they leave. They don't want anything to do with the parents. It's too bad. I saw a video on that once. They're busy. I got to make money, man. I got, you know, hey, what's up, Mom? Oh, you don't feel good? Okay, I'll be back. I'm about business. So if once you know and you're relying on God to take care of you, you do things from a more pure place inside you. So then things work out good. If nobody knows you, you have no friends, no family, no nothing, let's say, for example, and then you get sick later and you need help, what do you think? You think nobody's going to help you? Nobody's going to take care of you? Right? Remember, God's taking care of you. Strangers will come and they'll probably give you better service than your so-called friends and family. This is what I mean about when we start waking up, we start to perceive things differently and more clear. And when you start to perceive things more clear and you start to realize the universe Rumi said, "He who brought you here is taking care of you." When you start to realize that, you just flow. You're not concerned anymore with having a big bank account with a bunch of money, because then you think, oh, that if the economy collapses, I'll be good. I have this money. You don't try to get a bunch of Facebook friends that you can rely on if you need something. You don't have children just so, okay, if I get sick, they'll take care. You don't do all that. Your motives, you don't have those motives anymore. It's ironic, because I've been on the planet long enough and had enough people in my life where I've seen a lot of people who have money. They're like the worst. They have the most poverty consciousness that I've ever seen, because I lived in India for 5 years, and I'd probably say that was the biggest group of people who were poor out of anywhere else. But man, they're happy. They're not thinking about or worrying about this nonsense. But these people with money, they're such misers. I know people who will fight with the clerk over 10 cents. Seriously, not exaggerating. Just deep poverty consciousness. They need to, life's going to put them in a situation at some point where they're helpless. Their money's not going to help them. Nothing's going to help them. That's grace. It's a bit of an acid grace, but so be it. All right. This was 21 minutes. Well, relationships. There's a lot in there. We didn't even really say anything. All right. Have a good day. I'll see you.